How many comics are you in tenant stable?
Well, let's see. No,
You should be like at the end of your set, and if anybody needs a room to rent out, just call me.
come talk to me. I will hook you up, because I know you. Maybe I will give
make
you
you
a
good
discount.
price.
Family friend discount.
I think those people are the same as I don't like small talk. How the fuck are you supposed to get to know anybody? Am I supposed to say, what are your views on abortion the moment I meet you?
Hot take.
What are your views on abortion? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we were asking
Look
if
good on me.
cultural appropriation was a thing, and I'm
that's a
like,
good question, yeah.
everybody that bitches about cultural appropriation does yoga. So I don't know what they're bitching about really.
Just at the most.
She's using a red marker to fill in between her eyebrows right now. Oh my God. Leslie, even I wouldn't do that.
Speaking of red marker, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. I never heard it until I moved to Oklahoma. I used to live there for a few years, and they're like, Indians, feathers, not dots. Have you ever had somebody say that to you? Welcome to Manly Girly. I am Arturo, and we have, as always, our co-host, Andie. Hi, everybody. And today we have Amir, a local comic. Is it just Amir, or is there, what do you...
There's a last name.
What do you introduce yourself as when you go on stage?
Mostly just Amir or Amir SH.
Amir SH. What does the SH stand for? Does it, or is it publicly something you can disclose?
No, yeah, I could disclose it. It's my last name, Shamsuddin.
Okay, well, we're not going to be able to fucking spell that anyway, so no worries in saying it.
Yeah, Amir. Well, see, this is why. This is why I'm SH, dude.
I mean,
Absolutely.
later when you leave, I'm going to be like, his last name was Shemalama Ding Dong. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So,
You just said it now, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can be Shamalama Ding Dong.
Well, thank you very much, Amir. Thank you for joining us on the Manly Girly Show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I hear you are the enemy.
The enemy?
Or at least that's what the news tells me.
No, I was the
Depends
enemy.
on which channel you watch, I guess.
I was the enemy on November 29th when U.S. played Iran in soccer.
Okay.
Did Iran win?
Yeah.
No. You guys didn't watch that game?
I didn't watch
You
shit,
didn't watch
man.
You don't watch soccer?
I'm
We
a
don't
true
watch
true
soccer.
American. I don't watch fucking goddamn bullshit
And
sports,
he's
you know?
Peruvian. He should extra watch
Yeah,
soccer, shouldn't
extra.
he? Like, he
That's
doesn't have
racist.
an excuse.
Even Leslie knew. She texted me. She's like, "Sorry about your loss, man."
Well, but is that not the thing, though? Have you guys not... Did you watch soccer before this? No.
No.
You didn't. We know you didn't. You can answer. It's fine. So I know that she didn't.
We have a mute person
Did you watch
in the stage.
Yeah.
soccer?
Just kidding. The mic can't pick you up, so you can answer
Yeah,
whatever
it's all
you
right.
like. Yeah.
So did you watch soccer before
I watched
this?
the game. The game is
The
very
game of
important to
soccer.
me. Yeah, it's
Okay.
very, very historic.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
But you guys
no,
didn't
we-
win.
We fucking lost.
So you trashed a bar because you guys didn't win, or how did you?
I didn't chop off anyone's head.
No. Like nobody went that far.
I didn't do that, but I was sad. I cried a little bit on the inside
Okay.
because man, I don't cry.
But you care about sports.
Yes.
Okay. What's your
So-
sport in general then?
Soccer. I would
Soccer?
say, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't give a shit about football or basketball or baseball.
Very Canadian of you.
Yeah.
There's too many fucking points in basketball and too many goddamn innings in baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do? I mean,
I don't know. With baseball, I will go to a live game and I will enjoy that. And I don't mind if it takes much longer because that means you get to drink twice as much
Oh, yeah.
beer and you're just going to
That's-
cuss. And yeah, it's
That's all it
ridiculous.
is. It's just like one fun party where you get to drink. That's
Exactly.
what.
Nobody's really paying
Yeah.
attention. You just yell at the umpire every once in a while. Like basketball, you kind of have to pay attention because it's like the ball is constant, though.
yeah.
It's a lot.
It's
I'll
an
do it.
ADD's wet dream. That's what it is.
And then there's like hockey where the puck is going back and forth so constantly that you can't see it, but nobody ever scores. Nobody ever scores.
Yeah. Yeah.
so what got you into soccer? Did you play it, or were you just always a big fan? You mentioned you're from Canada.
the soccer the game is important because soccer is like a huge deal in the Middle East
Okay.
and in Iran, and that's like a form of like national identity for a lot of Middle Easterners, a lot of Europeans too.
Yeah.
Over here, it's not.
Yeah.
So like Iran and U.S. have had like problems diplomatically, obviously,
Sure.
for the last 43
Really?
years.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
No joke.
So like that was like a way, and especially now, like there's a lot of bullshit that's happening in Iran.
Sure.
The protests and the revolution.
Well, tell us more about that. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm
what's
not
going
super
on?
up
Like,
on
you
it
know, like
because-
we have a whole like we don't care about the news or politics approach in light of the toxicity
but we care
from
about
everybody.
our friends. So if
Exactly,
you
we
wanna
care what
tell
you're
about it-
interested in. You know,
Yeah.
so.
Well, so I'm from there and I have family there for one.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been brutal, man. Like, so for the last 43 years, and there's an Islamic government that runs the country. Prior to that, was a monarchy.
Okay.
It was Persia, and then
Sure.
it was like the Persian Empire, and then it became Iran.
I've heard it was beautiful.
And
so.
then there was an Islamic revolution in 1979. They overthrew the Shah, the king, and then now it's run by an Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic for the last 43 years has been oppressing women, like, and men, and also,
Humans,
yeah, humans
probably,
in
yeah.
general, religious minority, ethnic minorities. It's just
Like what kind of stuff to like anybody that might not, especially most people that probably watch this, like born or live in the U.S. or born
Yeah.
in the U.S. So they really, I mean, I lived in Peru as a kid, right? So I think they don't have a frame of reference as to, Twitter, Elon Musk is oppressing me, right? So maybe you can give him a little bit more context.
So I guess here's some things that women can't do in Iran. Okay. Well, we'll kind of get to why these protests are now getting huge. But so one, you have to cover your hair. You have to be like modestly dressed.
Sure.
There's these morality police that go around and they arrest people, or they just like throw them in vans and take them somewhere. And
So religious law essentially
Yes.
is hand in hand with.
yeah, it's
Just state law.
a socialist theocracy is what it is.
Interesting.
Women can't get a divorce without the consent of the man. Women
Goddamn right. No, I'm
can't
just kidding.
yeah. Women can't travel alone.
You ain't leaving me.
No. I think Iran would be a great place for you, Arturo.
Right.
I think it's time for you to move there.
Fucking A. That's right. Finally, a goddamn brown man can get some fucking respect.
Not in this house.
JK. It's a
Let's do it,
character
man.
piece.
Anyway, so they have to cover their hair, which I would not be super down for, obviously. But
Yeah. Well, good thing
they
you're
can't.
not there.
Huh?
That's a good thing you're not there,
Exactly. No, but you were saying they can't, get a divorce without the permission of their husband, I assume?
Yeah.
Or is it from their father? Because I've heard that there's a little, is it like both?
No, I think it's like you have to really have a convincing case if you want to get a divorce from your husband, where for the husband, it's like so easy to
Right.
just like get up and leave.
Gotcha.
Like you can't even travel alone. Like you have to be accompanied by a man, like your brother, father.
Wow. Like to the store, like you can't go anywhere, like
No,
What's the distance? What's like the
like
the
if you're trying to
threshold?
get a bus, like you're trying to ride a bus from, let's say, north of Iran to the south of Iran, they're like,
You
do
have to
you have
have-
a written permission from your husband?
oh, like
Interesting.
just in case somebody defects, they're like, all right, yeah, don't go too far, where we can keep,
Yeah.
our thumb on top of me. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah. Well, I'm glad that you let me go on my trip yesterday. Then I guess I went a
Yeah.
whole 3.5 hours.
I shouldn't have because she was late today, but
I was not late. I was exactly on time, and also I arrived exactly when I meant to.
no, it's all right. I was late to give them the address, so they almost didn't make it. So don't worry.
Well, then we would have had no podcast, and the people would riot in the streets. But apparently they are in Iran, so I didn't even think about that. But yeah, rioting in the streets. Yeah, get to that.
Yeah. So go on.
There's a
So,
good
sorry to
stuff.
interrupt
Just
you, by the way.
kidding.
Go on.
No, it's cool. Yeah, they arrested this woman. It's like 22-year-old girl. Her name is Mahsa Amini. And then when they had arrested her for like allegedly wearing bad hijab, they basically like beat her to death. So once that happened, like people were just like furious.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it
have
sparked protests everywhere.
have people been unhappy with this for all these years leading up? Because you said 43 years.
Yeah, because this government is like very oppressive, and they crack down hard on protests. Like it's not like you have a constitutional right here where you can be like, hey,
We
you
don't
know.
agree.
Yeah,
Because we often don't.
But no, over there, like right now, there's been protests for the last 3 months. 400 people that have already died from protests. 1,500 people that are arrested. They've already hung like 2 people. So it's like it's madness.
It's fucking
Hung.
horrifying.
That's
Yeah.
like fucking like
protesting.
medieval. That's like medieval times
protesting,
shit
dude.
for
Yes.
protesting.
Well, I mean, they beat a
Wow.
22-year-old to death. That's fucking insane.
They're doing anything they
Yeah.
can to like hold their power.
Well, which is it's so interesting to me because, like, as we all know, you can't squash an idea, and the people are an idea.
Yeah,
like,
V for
you
Vendetta told
can't-
me ideas
you
are bulletproof.
Can't stop people from thinking things, and it's. I don't know. That's so interesting. Sounds like I don't.
Question for you.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Do you
Go
think
ahead.
that maybe they're just really big Game of Thrones fans? Or, no, I'm just kidding.
They've just got like child?
I
what are
bet
they
you,
called?
dude, it's a fucking barbaric shit.
It'd
Dude.
probably be hot over there. They're like, this is bullshit. This is little kid shit right in
Yeah.
Do
TV.
you think then, like with all the massive protests now, that the internet has kind of spurred that, like, because 43 years and all this time, and where they're coming to a head now, and a lot
No,
of
I
shit
think
is
the internet's been a
happening.
huge deal, a huge factor in this. Like, because first of all, there's no media coverage.
Yeah.
Like all you're getting is from the internet. So like all Iranians that are outside Iran are trying to like spread this, send this to like news agencies and stuff like that. But everything that has been covered of what's happening in Iran has been from social media.
Yeah.
And they shut down the internet
Well,
for
this was, I'm gonna ask. Like, there's just carte blanche access to this kind of stuff. Like, the government doesn't deny their access to like TikTok and things like that.
no
like-
internet is shut down from like the conventional aspect.
Okay.
Starlink actually decided to like put in some satellite coverage for Iranians so they can kind of communicate.
credit?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were you were
gonna-
going to say so they can watch the World Cup, but
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, they gave it to Ukraine too. So are we concerned?
Yeah.
And then he backed out.
do you think like is it just me or does Ukraine seem to get like a lot sexy airtime than
Obviously.
the Iran shit? Like everybody has a little fucking flag for Ukraine in their
Absolutely.
little profile. Which do I say? I'm like, what the fuck are you really doing for the people of Ukraine? Really? But
Thoughts and prayers.
it seems like nobody gave a shit about Yemen. Nobody, I mean, like
Disproportionate
yeah,
coverage.
disproportionate coverage. It seems
For sure. Yeah. I mean, and also it's like one thing is like I'll say that you can't really send journalists to Iran. So you can't.
Okay.
if they're pussies.
Because
Well,
because they don't recognize journalists over there and treat them as journalists, or
no, it's because they run the media. It's like state-sponsored media. Is all
so
it
if
is.
you go in there, you're not going to get any true facts.
It's like controlled. Yeah, like Al Jazeera can get there sometimes cover on like certain things, but like they're not gonna get like freedom of press kind
Okay.
of situation.
And
I
you-
found out about this because you did a benefit show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I just wanted to do my part because I felt like when it was first happening, it was like horrendous shit was happening, but no one really knew about it. I was just like, hey, might as well like spread some sort of awareness because it sucks that this is happening.
Yeah.
And collect some money. We donated the money to Amnesty International. So
That's freaking awesome.
No
man.
shit.
we'll see what they
Oh,
do
yeah.
with it. They might just
Put it
buy something with it, buy some groceries. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get an
Buy four-wheelers.
Epstein's Fuck Island #2 with that money,
Yeah. Amnesty? Yeah, why not, dude? You think they're legit? You think Amnesty's legit? I don't know.
Well, this is the thing, right? And this is why I mentioned earlier, like we're kind of like detached, right? Like I have no issue providing direct help, right? But how many of these organizations are paying for the administrator kit to, out of every dollar? How much does it actually get to the people and help, right? And I think we all have to do what we feel comfortable, and you did what you felt you had to do.
which is
Yeah.
wonderful.
And that has to be enough, right? Like sometimes, we can't really foresee what the actions that we take will happen, right? Whether 99 cents of that goes there or like 1 cent of that, right? But it's better than doing nothing, right? Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's no way to make sure that they're actually doing what they need to do.
Yeah, and I mean, I just watched Machine Gun Preacher, and you could always move back to Iran,
Yeah. Fuck, dude. I'm not going back there.
Yeah,
I ain't going back. I ain't going back.
My friend's dad has been talking for the last few years about going back because he has family there, and he's like, "Oh, my family, I need to go."
Is he Iran?
Yeah, he's from Iran. Yeah, and but he moved here in the '80s, so it's been here a real long time.
You get homesick,
huh?
You get homesick.
He says that, but the thing of it is he hasn't been in a lot of communication with his family there, and now the shit's wild, and he thinks basically if he goes, he either will not be able to come back or won't come back, sort of thing. He's just like, no,
Yeah, I get it, dude.
Yeah,
I get it.
But
I've been homesick, so I get it.
Okay, well,
I hear you. So how long have you been doing comedy?
Oh, we're jumping into that.
Oh shit, my bad. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Well, I just want to know one thing. When did you move here? Because you were born in Peru, right?
Yeah, I was born in Peru. I lived there as a kid. I moved here when I was 13.
13.
Yeah.
Nice.
How old were you when you moved here?
I was 27.
27.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I was in Canada before that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you moved
America Junior.
you moved from Iran to Canada, or were you born in Canada?
I was born in Dubai.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they don't give out citizenships over there, do they?
No, they don't.
They don't give a fuck.
No.
Almost every other country you can be born in.
No. Fucking what's his name? Mr. Wonderful? What's that guy's name?
Yeah, Kevin O'Leary, the guy that
they just gave
like,
him Emirati citizenship. I'm like, what the fuck?
Listen, Mr. Wonderful is a little bitch piece of shit because he's like, oh, FTX, and then, oh, by the way, all the money that FTX gave me, I fucking lost it. It's like, then why the fuck should we listen to you ever?
Jesus Christ, dude.
Because he has lots of money to lose. He can make those decisions.
He has those funky
differently.
pants. He thinks that's a personality, yeah?
Yeah, well,
They gave him Emirati citizenship, and they give I'm like, where the fuck is my citizenship?
Why did they give him?
Because he's got money, dude. That's
Exactly.
why it's such a like ultra like capitalist monarch fucking country that like most of the Arab nations are in that area.
Yeah.
Like Qatar, so much fucking controversy over the World Cup, dude.
Thank you. It's fucking Qatar. I'm not going to pronounce it Qatar because I'm pronouncing it in English and it reads Qatar to me.
Yeah.
People call it Qatar? Is that how it's pronounced?
Qatar.
Well, all of a
My
sudden,
bad. Qatar is
all
how
of
I
a
always
sudden,
said it.
what? I'm supposed to fucking say that city is not Kiev? I'm going to say, welcome to Kiev. Fuck you. This is America.
We say what we want. We give no fucks.
Yeah. I'm like going around correcting people. It's Iran, not Iran. And then people are like, fuck off, dude. I'm like, I don't go around saying Umerica. Like, Umerica or America.
You can, but
America.
You can, but it might not be good for you.
I mean, you could, exactly, because we're in America.
Yeah.
We're the majority right now.
Trust me, I know what it's like to be a brown man. I'm like, I'm Italian.
What did they say that the United States is going to be like more than half Hispanic in like 2043 or something like that?
It's those sexy dance moves,
Yeah.
We're here for the takeover.
I don't know. It's just a matter like global war. Like climate change, global warming. It's like the more sun we get, the less white people are going to be here.
It's true.
It's just
I've never thought of it that way.
Well, the way that I see it is like I think racial divides I think are so stupid because from like I don't know if you know this, right? But race is just developed out of natural adaptation of humans through generations and their environments. You go closer to the equator, you're gonna have darker people because the sun impact on it is more. So you need more melanin to be able to protect your skin. Whereas if you're a fucking snow monkey from the Caucasus Mountains, you don't need as much melanin and you're white. But you go through generations. If all of a sudden now everybody travels everywhere, right? But you really could see the differentiation. And so it really doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh yeah, well explain this. How come in the Middle East people are covered with a sweater essentially, and then you go to Scandinavia where it's cold as fuck and they don't have a fucking sweater? Those poor fucks are freezing to death. Explain that.
It depends. If the sweater is white, I think it's about sun reflection. You know, so
It's
like
not white, it's
Just-
black.
Well, that's it. But it's
Oh,
just,
You wanna see it, baby?
Oh,
You wanna
yeah. Did you bring your burqa?
It's dispersing.
No, I'm talking
the
about my
heat.
chest hair, my body hair.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
dispersing the heat. You know,
that's
it's
true.
black, so it's like
Actually,
it absorbs it and
surprisingly enough,
Yeah, it's true.
you may be right because we have some cacti and we grow cacti and succulents, and we find that the ones with spines and the ones with more hair are actually better at withstanding the heat because they're able to dissipate the heat through their thingies.
Huh.
Are you able to
I'm a
dissipate the
fucking
heat
cactus.
through
dude.
your
you are.
body hair?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of superpowers I have with my body hair, but it's a lot.
You got a great beard.
But you're
I tell
excited
you.
about unlocking them.
Yeah. Hopefully one day.
One day, if you try hard enough.
You,
Yeah.
you,
But
you,
no, that was a good answer.
You know, you have the superpower that, you know, if dressed correctly, you can probably say the N-word without trouble, you know?
Oh, word? Can I say right? No, I'm just kidding. Just
snap
ruin this whole
afterwards.
episode.
Yeah, just don't say it with Dice is here because he does not take kindly to that.
He does not. I think he especially doesn't take kindly to white women saying
Who's that?
Dyson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a
I
regular
mean,
guess because, you know, like I grew up in South Florida, everywhere it's like, you know, black, Hispanic, or Latino, you know? No, black, white, or Latino. Everybody intermixes, right? And it's really more culturally derived, right? Like I knew the skinny guy named Dave, kitchen guy, used to do a lot of cocaine, and he would say it all the time, right? And it wasn't like it would say it at everybody, and it wasn't like that. This is also 15 years ago, maybe. Yeah, holy
So
shit.
was
I
it
didn't
different
know.
then? Like
I just think that
I don't know. I feel like I've never called anybody that, but I get called that constantly. Like
really?
by
I'm going to use
black
my
friends,
pink
yeah.
card here. Guys.
No, Amir did
is
not
that
say
not
the
like-
N word, but if he
I'm
has a
going
tat,
to
he
use
can
my
say it.
pink card. Let's talk about...
Should we have made it a yellow card?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, we should have gotten like the
should have
soccer
made it a
things.
yellow
Yeah.
card.
So, comedy.
yeah.
What got you into comedy? When did you start? And what do you want to do with it?
Fuck, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Those are very...
How did you meet comedy first?
I took a class at Good Nights.
Did you really?
No
Yeah.
shit, that's cool.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out. That's cool.
Yeah.
How did you?
With Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
It
dope. How did that go? Was it
was good.
Yeah.
That was my first... Actually, I did
how
a...
long ago?
I did a talent show in my college in 2011, and then I never touched the mic again.
Okay.
And then in 2018, end of 2018, I took a class here.
So that's kind of
So-
recent.
Holy shit, that's pretty recent. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you like it? What does it do for you?
Gets me hard, man.
Oh, who does? Yeah,
What doesn't?
Yeah. Okay, you know
that's a
me.
given.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It does get me hard. Like, it just gives you like a brain boner
Yeah.
when you do comedy.
So what's your
Like,
goal
when you-
then when you get up on stage? Is that your goal is to give yourself a brain boner, or give
Yeah.
everybody else a brain boner?
Honestly, I think I just like the experience and the hang after. That's
Yeah?
what it is. You just get fucked up after. I think that's an excuse.
So it's a camaraderie thing for
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's really like I love that answer actually because
too.
so many people have so many of these goals, right? Like, oh, I need to be the best joke comic or whatever. And it's like, first of all, good luck if it happens, but who gives a shit, right? Like, I think the journey is much more important than the destination. The journey is the destination,
Word.
and I think if people I think as a comic, you have to be a little egoless. Otherwise, it's really, really easy to become like an asshole that's like, oh, I'm so much more clever than everybody, you know? And it's like, for what? It's an art. You're just a bunch of artists making art. It just happens that it's with your mouth, you know?
Yeah, man. You said it right there, dude. That's it. That's
I
it.
don't know.
If,
But what's
if you
your
weren't
thing?
wearing that wig, I'd say you're a philosopher. But yeah.
It's what that's racist. It's philosopha.
That's
You
fine.
need to put that on the website.
I've used that one before. I
That's
didn't know.
pretty good.
I didn't realize. I didn't think I would get the chance to use that joke again.
Yeah, well, now we know it needs to go on the website. So
Actually, that should be the name of our next podcast. It's going to be philosopha without the er.
yeah, well, that's Casa de Thinking with Arturo the philosopher.
I love it. Dude, I like these this artwork around here. This is pretty dope.
Thank you. Here, I'll zoom out
Lots to look at, huh?
yeah, in Manly Girly Studios.
Yeah.
Thank you. So kind of like a little.
The Pokemon.
The popcorn. What is that from? Little.
Oh, how did this get made? It's a podcast that I don't know if they still have it, but it was with Paul Scheer, June Diane Raphael, and Jason Mantzoukas. You ever watch The League?
No.
But they're funny, and they would talk about just crazy movies.
Movies and like,
They did all the Fast and the Furious movies, and they were only up to 8. They're like, they've already gone to space. What are they gonna go back in time? So they posited Fast 9, the Fast and the Furious, like 9 NEIN, like 9. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah. And I saw them live, and it was pretty fun. So I got the little poster.
Nice.
so as far as comedy though, that's why you're in comedy and what you get from comedy. Do you have any future goals other than that? Like you're just here for a good time, huh?
Yeah, dude. I'm
Hell
here
yeah.
because I want to meet people like Mr. Arturo over here.
Likewise, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we're
That's
glad
it.
to admit it. I'm glad that you've come on this podcast. Don't get me wrong. We're not wrapping up. We're just getting wet. We're just getting lubed up.
Yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say, I'm like,
So what else do you like to do besides comedy? You know, I've heard you're a landlord as well.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you hear
Slumlord
that?
or a landlord?
What is it? Yeah. I got my tenant right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a slumlord. I'm like greasy Persian landlord that shows up with my robe and like, where is the rent, huh?
Well,
You're late. Unless he's like, I'm actually the month hasn't ended yet.
yeah. I mean, most people
Don't
don't
care. I need it early.
If you're not early, you're late. You know.
Exactly. Well, that's how my
true.
mom actually considers it. She's like, she's also a landlord. She's like, they need to pay. They don't pay until the 3rd or whatever. I'm like, listen, Mom, I understand that you want it on the 1st, but this is America. When I was renting a place, the due date is the last fucking day before I get charged, not the 1st of the month. You know. What do you
That's
think? Right?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I did not.
No,
know.
no, that's not true. Like 15 days, dude.
Extended.
Max. And then what are you gonna
You're a
double?
landlord. You should know this.
I thought it was
Absolutely.
15
Don't
days.
tell your tenants. You already
Really?
told them. You're like,
Oh,
it's
if-
15.
In Florida, it's like 3 or 5 tops. You know.
Really?
Word.
Yeah.
Well,
Holy shit.
out here you won't be. Out
I'm
on the
gonna look
streets
at
too
this.
quick.
Look this up, dude.
That's the time.
That's a long
I
time.
see. That's 60 days.
All right.
damn.
Are you
let's-
feeling concerned?
Let's not. Let's not explore that idea, okay? It's-
Absolutely, right through here.
So being a landlord, a slumlord landlord, it's pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is fun.
My granddad used to own a trailer park.
Oh, what a
he-
G!
Oh, he won it in a poker game.
Oh my
This
God!
guy
no
could
way.
not pay him and gave him this trailer park. And my granddad, so he goes in there and he's like, I'm going to fix it all up. I'm going to rent it all out and I'm going to make some freaking money off of this. He fixed it all up. And by the next month, they had trashed it all again. He said he did it like 3 times. It was just a money pit. He
Nice.
eventually, he said he sold it. And I was like, you should have pawned it off on somebody else in a dirty poker game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how that would go along. It's like a fruitcake that nobody wants.
fucking. That's so worth it, dude.
I think so, but like, he's a G anyway. He water skis backwards with a lit cigarette in his mouth. Like,
Wait, did you say this was your grandpa?
this is my granddad. Yeah. The last time I saw him, he had just had hip surgery. And then he was walking up to me and he had a cane. And like, this is upsetting to me because my granddad is a G. He really is. He's going to live forever. He smokes like a chimney and water skis backwards.
How old is he?
86, 87, something like that. But the last time I saw him, he had just had hip surgery, and this was like 3 or 4 years ago, and he's walking up to me with a cane, looking real feeble, and I'm like, oh my God, my granddad, like internally trying not to show how upset that I am that he is so feeble, right? This motherfucker throws his cane down, does like that Willy Wonka barrel roll, and hops back up, and he's like, I'm great. And I'm like, what? Granddad? It was insane, yeah.
Holy shit.
He's going to live forever. And then one day he's just going to keel over, guaranteed, I promise you, because he's just full of cigarettes and spite keeping him going. So,
nice.
yeah. Do you have
I'm
living
more
grandparents?
interested about learning about him. What did
He's
he?
very cool, yeah.
Is he like do you have just one marriage or single or?
You know, he was married to my mom, or my mom's mom.
I like that you
and
started there.
He was married to my mom's
yeah,
mom. My
I'm
mom's
like
mom's
curious.
from-
I'm like, what? Tell me
He
about
was
this.
Sounds
guy's
like this guy
married
fucks.
twice.
Yeah, I
No,
was
he
like-
was actually married twice. He was married to my grandma, love of his life.
Yeah.
And then they got divorced because, you know. And then he married this other
What
nice
do you mean?
lady.
Because I don't know.
I don't know. They like to drink a lot. And he's, you know, I don't think that people back then didn't really, I don't think, talk to each other. They're in their 80s. Like, what were they really communicating
Oh, so he got
about?
he got a divorce in his 80s.
They got no. They got divorced very early on, and he
Okay.
remarried another lady who had 7 children. So he had 6 kids already, and then he had another 7 stepkids. And then that wife died, and he just was bachelored it up for years. He dated so many women. Like, I always had like a step grandma. She was never married to my granddad, but she was just there all the time.
Nice.
And like, I think that unfortunately, in a lot of ways, they like super influenced me because they were always these women with like these long polished nails and very glamorous and everything like that, and always smoking and drinking. And I
Dude.
was like, I think I osmosised some of that stuff because I was like, oh, you're so glamorous. I want to be just like you. And I didn't know that they were probably a little bit crazy. And alcoholics, you know, like, yeah. But they were fun when I was a kid.
Sounds like it. Dude,
Yeah.
this guy deserves to be on Sports Illustrated.
He
or
should be on the
something.
podcast is what he should be on.
Yeah.
I mean, the man's probably been to the Playboy Mansion and I don't know about it. He's a very interesting person.
You been to the Playboy Mansion, Arturo? I feel like you have.
I have not. Where is it?
I don't know. Where is it? Let's see.
They bought somebody bought the Playboy Mansion like before Hugh Hefner died, you know, and he was allowed to, like, the deal was he was allowed to live in it until he died. And so, you know, recently when he did, they completely like gutted the mansion. The facade is staying because it was written into his deal that it had to stay the Playboy Mansion. They dug out the grotto and all this other stuff. I saw the pictures online and actually I really enjoyed it. It's, if you've ever watched like a deep cleaning video, I assume that that's what it was like. They were just power washing cum off of the walls, or off the grotto.
I love it.
Yeah, everything I know about the Playboy Mansion is that little grotto or from back
Exactly.
MTV days.
Just a cesspool.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just all men fucking there, you know.
Old rich men.
But you know,
Totally.
back when you know, fucking unattainable views of beauty and sexuality were uncovered, where we could all aspire to instead of we just give it up. We're like, fuck it, you know, like you know, I can be whatever the fuck I want to be.
Because of the internet? Because of social media, you think?
Yeah, because now, you know.
Because everybody's an Instagram model?
Listen, I need negative reinforcement. I need something to tell me you're a fat piece of shit right now. Not like, oh, your body is beautiful. You're beautiful
fat
or
piece of
whatever.
shit. No, I'm just kidding.
It helps me. It helps
Buddy,
me.
Amir over.
Hey, man. Hey, whatever it takes to help you, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm
I
just trying to
appreciate
help
it.
Yeah. No, I'm like that too. I need some self-hate too. Like I feel like that's like I bully myself sometimes because I'm like, you need to be doing more, you piece of shit.
Absolutely.
Look at you. You're so dumb, fat
Sounds
and
like
ugly.
you're killing. You're landlording, you know.
I mean, I'm a big fan of just, you know, going ham on your own self. Just, I mean, in more ways than one, if you think about it.
Yeah, like
So-
waterboarding yourself and like no, I'm just kidding.
Very David Goggins right there. You know? Enjoy the grind. So landlording, I think that's great. I've been a landlord. Was recently in Texas before I moved here.
Oh hell yeah.
And I think little known secret that people don't realize, you know, and it's like, and tell me if you agree, right? Is that I think that owning property and becoming a landlord is the surest way to wealth in when you're older, right? Especially because you can move into a place, get financing, you know, for especially, you know, if you live in America and the U.S., live there for a couple of years, do it again if you can, you know, scrounge up down payment, rent the other one out, and like rinse and repeat. What has been your experience as a landlord?
Yeah, it's like because everyone's gonna need housing, right? So you buy like medium to kind of like, you know,
Middle
nothing too
income,
expensive,
Yeah.
and then just fucking ride it out. I don't know. The only time it's gonna become a problem is if like that specific area gets messed up, because real
Sure.
estate in general, it's gonna go.
People are always going to need housing.
Yeah. like the pattern to real estate, if you look at it, it's always been like this, but it's always been towards the upward trend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially because right after the 2008 crash, they just developers just stopped building. So there's
Yeah.
actually not enough homes to sustain the current growth of the population.
Yeah.
So rents are going to keep going up and up and up again. So you better lock in that long-term deal from this landlord over here.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. And it's becoming corporatized now. That's the problem. It's
Yeah,
because like
BlackRock and all this shit.
Open Door. You ever heard of Open Door?
Yeah.
They're just buying out shit too. Like you know how like cabs used to be something you can purchase. Like you can pay like I don't know $100,000, $200,000 to purchase a cab and a cab license.
Yeah.
And then just work for yourself. And like now with Uber, it's like not a
I've
thing
heard,
anymore.
yeah.
So I feel like maybe that's also could be a problem. Is that over time, if real estate becomes that, like the Uber of living.
Yeah.
Question:
where
How
it's
do you
just a
know?
monopoly.
How do you know so
Yeah.
much about cabs? Because if you told me how much it costs to like buy a cab or start a cab business, I would have no fucking
I
idea
knew
where to
this.
start.
No, and about the chips, the coins or whatever
Yeah.
What?
like cabbies, they have to buy these coins or something. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it's like I think especially in New York, there are these coins that they had before Uber and Lyft and everything like that, and you had to purchase them basically. It's like basically the ability to work for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when Uber and Lyft really kind of took off, like there were a lot of cabbies that were just becoming destitute. You know, that was their entire livelihood. They had businesses, small businesses of their own that worked off it. It's really kind of shit all over everything.
So they basically took out the cab
Yeah,
companies
pretty
entirely,
much.
like up until like maybe
well, and individual cab owners.
yeah,
You know,
or
really,
even
that's
cab
the
companies too. Like for
Cab
not, maybe
companies,
not
fuck 'em.
maybe not in New York, but like in Vancouver, Ubering was illegal up until maybe 4 years ago.
I remember that. Yeah.
So
Because
and that's-
they had it in Canada for a while and then they got rid of it. Isn't that right? Like
so
they
Toronto,
squashed it out.
it's like provincial, I think. So like Ontario embraced it, I think, almost immediately with the U.S. Other big cities, I'm not sure about. Like maybe Montreal was a little bit after that. Vancouver, though, because the cab companies had such powerful lobbying there,
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
they were not willing to like allow
Yeah.
legislature to pass, and then they just were like, it's inevitable. So
It's
they
inevitable because people want what I don't understand. Then in that instance, when Uber and Lyft came on the scene, why didn't the cab companies shift and be like, oh, we need to get our own tech people to get us to write these apps? Because it's not, it
Yeah.
wasn't at that point in time proprietary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they could have. You got to pivot. You know what I mean? People want convenience. People want.
See, that's what I'm worried about real estate. Back to what you were saying, is that's the only way it could become a problem, is to become super convenient not to own or rent or something. So just
Yeah.
work with Open Door or
Yeah.
Airbnb,
Yeah.
then, we're fucked.
Yeah, no, especially I used to follow, well, I still follow, but I really was into this YouTuber, Meet Kevin. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Well, he was a real estate guy. And that's kind of how, I first got into, well, my family's been in real estate, but when I really started being like, okay, getting some wedge deals, right? Like, and all that other stuff. And he's starting a company called Househack that all of a sudden, like before he was teaching his followers, okay, this is how you get a wedge deal because the wholesalers are only willing to pay a certain amount, so it's profitable, or the flippers, the people that are actually looking to move into the home. Usually, for example, my brother, he wants something new. Waste of money, but he wants something new. And so they want it ready to move in. Maybe they have a family. So there's a wedge in there where you can get something that needs work. And if you're willing to put the DIY effort in, you can get it for more than the flippers, but less than no. You can get it for less than, you can get above the flippers because it'd be too expensive for the flippers. So it'd be more than the flippers, but below what a family would get because they would not offer the amount that you're going to offer for something that needs work, or they may not be able to.
Right.
And now he's essentially in the market, so he's jumping in. He's like pulling a lot of funds and buying those houses so he can then rent them out to people. Yeah, he's a small company, but if he's doing it, BlackRock's doing it, then where does a
Everyone's
small
doing it.
landlord ever, able to compete?
guys-
Small landlord doesn't make nearly as much money as
No way.
Yeah, like It's just but it's just my way of hedging myself against inflation. I think that's the better way
Yeah,
to put it.
assets is the way to go. Yeah.
Well, we just need to pool our interests, obviously, and become a conglomerate.
What do you say to, like there's especially, how old are you, by the way?
34.
34? We're 37. Okay, so you are kind of a millennial, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you're millennial. So what is it with, I hear in the Gen Z population a lot like landlords are just fucking capitalist pieces of shit that are just looking to get rich off of other people's, If all of a sudden, if you weren't a landlord, everybody would fucking own a house. Have you heard kind of like that rhetoric?
Yeah, I like it. I don't mind it. I feel
Do
like
you think that if landlords didn't exist, everybody would own a house? If you guys weren't all buying them up?
No. I like it because then, like, if everyone became a landlord, it'd be a problem for us,
Sure.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm like, yeah, fuck the landlords. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm
You're
renting
over there.
forever, dude.
You're over there behind the
Yeah.
picket line. You're like, fuck those.
What do you think? I'm
guys."
gonna ruin my own business, dude?
You want to see
a
my
very good
lease?
point.
Don't worry, the landlord's Amir LLC. Okay, it's just a coincidence.
Yeah. That's how I get people in. Put them on my show.
Very clever.
That's actually not a bad idea. If we ever need to
How do you think Leslie got trapped in the system?
Hell yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'll do your show. Next thing you know, she's like, why am I signing here? Let's do the show, okay? Just sign.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
First and last.
He's like, you want to headlight the show? This is what it takes.
You got to sign a 2-year agreement.
You got to live somewhere, right?
Well, exactly. You got to listen. He's just doing you a solid. That's a friend right there.
Welcome.
What a
No, I'm
pal.
just kidding. I'm kidding. Leslie's a great tenant.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you a tenant for real? Yes. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I thought you were fucking around. Okay, that's insane.
You said you were gonna think about it, and I was like, actually, I need a place.
Yeah.
How many comics are you in tenant
Housing?
stable?
Well, let's see. No, I'm just kidding. I have like a whole like building filled with comics.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Actually,
You should be like at the end of your set, and if anybody needs a room to rent out, just call me.
Come talk to me. I will hook you up, because I know you. Maybe I will
I'll
give
make
you a
you good
discount.
price.
Family friend discount.
That's awesome. Fuck, I had something. I completely forgot.
that's all good.
What?
So how did
How did
so,
you,
go ahead.
how did you two meet then? In that
Well, she's not on the
case?
podcast, so it'll be a
Well-
little tough to get her audio.
That's a very good point. I'm sorry, but I am curious.
We'll do it in the Casa de Thinking right after, which we're going to
Sounds
record her
good.
after.
All right. Well,
Casa
forget
de
about it.
Thinking.
I don't care anyway. Little dead air.
Yeah. Yeah. We asked you about. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember what I was going to ask you. So, you're 34-year-old man. How's the love life? Do you have a lady? Like,
Yeah, I'm married.
You're married.
Yeah, and I have a 4-month-old daughter.
That's right. You recently became a dad.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations again. I remember, like, you had been gone for a while, and I remember seeing you. Oh, yeah. What's that like? What's it like becoming a parent and being a comic and, like...
Still living that nightlife. Are
oh,
you?
good question.
Well, I mean, sometimes, yeah. Need to let loose. But the dad thing is dope, dude. At first, I was like worried, like what kind of dad I'm gonna be. But I think I'm gonna be okay. But I'm still worried.
You're
But
still worried.
I'm still concerned. But I'm still like, it's a good thing. But like every day goes by, I feel like I'm getting more and more comfortable with it.
Sure. When you say what kind of dad you were going to be, did you have these different tropes that you thought you were going to fall into? You're like, I'm going to be the beer drinking dad, or I'm going to be the football dad, or I'm going to
Football
be
dad, I'm
the
a football dad.
I'm going to be the
I don't know. It's hard because like you have to shift your mindset entirely because the first 43 years of my life, all I thought about was myself
Sure.
for the most part.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, oh, I can't think of myself anymore. And then
You
as
said
soon
43. Did you lie to us about your age just now?
as 34, sorry.
Okay.
I'm dyslexic. I'm so sorry. I'm not 43. Holy shit, I did say 43. I'm so dyslexic, dude. It's not even funny. Like really dyslexic.
I wasn't saying. All right. Well, you're 43 now, just so you know.
I
We're
can be
gonna tell
43.
people
Let's just
that.
go with 43. The first 43 years of my life, all I cared
Yeah.
about was myself. And then now I can't care about myself anymore. So
Right.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So your wife was second until your child was born, is what you're saying.
pretty much, yeah. I mean,
You're like, until I had a kid, I only cared about myself.
It goes me and then my wife, and then now it's like my kid, me, my wife. That's how it goes.
My wife. Yeah.
My wife.
That's awesome, man. So how early, and this is a good question, since you became a parent, how soon, at what age does your kid get a cell phone?
I don't know, man.
You haven't already thought about this?
I haven't thought about it.
This is a big deal.
Yeah. How about the tablet?
Maybe
Do
I'll
they
get her
already-
like a pager.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yes. Why not? They're actually kind of cool. Like, have you seen, like, they make iPod cases for them now that look like pagers. I bought one because I was like, heck yeah, it looks just like it. It's very cool. And
That's
it's
funny.
probably very lame and nobody knows what it is. I showed my son and I was like, it's a page. It's like a pager. And he was like, what's that? And then I explained to him how they worked and he still didn't understand. And then I remembered, you remember when you used to like send people messages with the text? Like it was basically like the original text. Like you would, instead of sending like 911 to your mom, like you would put in something so that you could spell out something on the beeper so that it would spell like hello or whatever.
Oh, like
and
it
you
only
were just
had
paging
digits?
people. Exactly. Yes.
Interesting.
I did that.
I think you could bring pagers back.
You can totally bring
Yeah.
pages back, and I think we should.
I think
Dude,
you-
I had a car phone. I was paying $8
Holy
a month for it.
shit.
Really?
This guy had money. A car
A
phone?
car phone. I remember when those were like the height of
Of
you
wealth.
were so rich if you had a car phone.
I had a 2000 and it had a car phone, a 2000 Mercedes C230.
and you hooked it up. You were like
I
yes.
registered it and then I would make, hey man, I'm calling you from my car.
Hell yeah.
I would do that every single day just to
Very
show people.
very Scarface. I love it.
Yeah. Because it had no like Bluetooth or like anything I can like.
Did it
like,
record? Did you record yourself like picking it up with the?
no, it had. You can only do it with loudspeakers, so it had a mic and it would only play it like with this on the speakers.
I see. I
didn't
wanted
have
it to
like
be
a-
a literal like the brick gigantic.
Yeah, they should have added that like a handset or a handheld, whatever. But
Yeah.
they didn't.
to make you look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you can. I'll tell you. I'm gonna give you my pitch for the bringing the pager back. You make it like Twitter, so you can only have you have a character limit, right? And guess what? It's not only a pager, but it's also a Tamagotchi, and it's a Tamagotchi NFT. So you carry it with you at all times. So it's not only a game, but also a communication device, right?
I love
And
that.
your Tamagotchi can tweet as well.
Hey, you don't have to
Fuck.
look at your phone.
That's crazy.
I think kids would.
I
buy
love it, dude.
Just get right off the bat, you know.
God damn, this guy's a fucking philanthropist, dude. I love it.
Full on rapist. For
I always
sure.
have ideas that I cannot use, and when I can't use them, I'm a little bit too late. I used to live in a place where I'm like, nobody likes to walk through their fucking dumpster, right? I'm like, I'll just start a garbage company that grabs all of it, and I'm like, all right, I have the idea, and then like one fucking day later, there's a little sign on my door. Oh, do you not like walking to the? I'm like, God damn it, they beat me to
I
it.
know.
You're just a day late, dollar short, huh?
Always, definitely $1 short, especially with the stock market, maybe more
my
like
God.
lots of dollars short.
I know. I always think of ideas too, and I'm like, someone else probably thought of this.
Hell
You
yeah.
should do it anyway because you know
Yeah.
what? There's lots of the same thing already. You know what I mean? Like there are so many of the exact same thing that people have just slightly tweaked and they're like, "Hey, buy this, you dummy," and somebody does. So you should make it and you should sell it. Just rip off somebody's idea.
When I was in college, I had this brilliant idea of opening up a sleep bar.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, what?
Oh, a sleep
Yeah.
bar. Okay.
A
Like,
nap
Is that like a
bar?
brothel?
nap
or?
bar.
Oh, okay.
like you could just come
Pay by
in and
the
just take
hour?
a nap. Yeah, by the
Yeah,
hour,
okay.
like $20 an hour, have a little comfortable nap, and then get the fuck out.
Yeah. Hey, who's this draft? It's like sexually trafficked immigrants.
I was gonna say, who is this marketed to?
It's marketed towards it's marketed towards rich people actually, because
Rich
they'll pay
people.
for it.
Do you
Yeah.
know, actually, there was this guy
like it.
that was on a board of directors at this place that I worked, and he told me, he was like, "Hey, I'm going to be driving through town. Can I stop by your office? I'm just going to take a nap real quick and then get back on the road.
How many
shit you
times
not.
have you been like in the middle of your, let's say you're in your office inside the financial district, you can't get work done because you're partying too hard. You're like, all I need is like a 1 hour nap and I'll be good. You go to my Amir's nap bar down the street,
Yeah.
pay $20.
Hell yeah.
Have a little nap with a humidifier, some nice music, comfortable sheets.
Sure. Maybe a kitty to stroke on your lap.
Yeah, maybe a kitty
You
or
said
maybe
a
me.
kitty? I thought you said a kitty. I'm like, so what is
like
this?
a kitty cat.
What is this? Epstein sleep bar? Like,
The
but
thing of it is I don't understand, why are we not sleeping in our cars if that is
How
what we're
comfortable
doing?
is your
Yes,
car,
you're right,
dude?
it's
What are
not
you
that
talking about?
comfortable.
How
There's
can
no
you-
cats. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, sure, that's it. You can't even stretch out.
I can. Maybe you can't.
she's like $20. I'll save $20.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a van.
A $20 nap.
$20, that's not bad, dude.
It's not bad. And I had an idea. You can put it right near the airport. You know,
Or
like
in the airport, in the
or
exchange
in
terminal.
the airport. How many times you're like, fuck, I have a layover, or that, I want to.
Tell me my idea is bad. Don't fuck. If you fucking steal it, I'm gonna sue your ass, dude.
Oh no, it's not worry. I'm already
This is
overstretched.
This is our podcast, though. We'll just cut out this part, and then you'll be.
Yeah, you better. No, I'm just kidding. I don't mind that. I didn't raise my pink card.
So I think airport yoga studio is what I think.
No,
that we should
not
have.
yoga. Sleep.
You sleep, but you can.
Yeah.
Well, Arturo says when I do yoga, I'm just taking a nap anyway. So.
Every time I walk in, she's just laying on the ground
I mean,
with
that's
her
a
eyes
good
closed.
idea too, but I feel like it doesn't resonate with my vision. I'm sorry,
I
we
hear
can't
ya.
be partners.
That's fine. See, I say the yoga because everybody's losing their fucking minds on planes right now. They all just need to chill out. Either that, or we just like mandatory Xanax.
Or
Baby
meditation. You
Xanax.
can also do meditation.
They can do meditation, whatever they want to do, but we need to do something with them because why is everybody on the flights fucking buck wild lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said meditation in Indian accent. I'm sorry about that.
I don't know. But speaking of that,
It's okay if you do it though, because we're not allowed to do
yeah.
it.
Well,
But you can
He
also do
can.
it if
yes,
you
my
want
friend.
to.
Oh,
He's
no, that's a little
just-
bit less.
He's, ambiguously
Some more
brown.
Jordanian, I think.
As long as you have faces like this, is absolutely 100% okay.
Don't forget to.
That's a really quite good Indian accent.
Yeah, don't forget about the.
Yes, that is a signature move. We are all going to get canceled. We are all so fucked.
I'm not.
This is-
We are all
is-
so
I never
fucked.
said
It's a comedy
anything.
podcast.
Leslie's also doing it. She's
does it the most.
She's using a red marker to fill in between her eyebrows right now. Oh my God, Leslie, even I wouldn't do that.
Speaking of red marker, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. I never heard it until I moved to Oklahoma. I used to live there for a few years, and they're like, Indians, feathers, not dots. Have you ever had somebody say that to you?
Yeah.
So I need to
it blew my
explain
mind.
to you
Like it
guys.
makes sense, but I never heard somebody say it to me out
makes
Or
loud.
like casino, not computer. Like you just
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. Casino, not computer. Yes.
I have not
I
heard
wish
that
I would have
one.
had that. But we have Oklahoma has a very high Indian population and Native American.
That's all right. My comedy does not, skew to the demographic.
Are
of,
you Native American?
No.
Oh, okay.
My son is.
Oh.
So, I like to think that by osmosis, I also get some of his privilege, maybe?
Absolutely.
Is that how that works?
She wore a headdress in the other day over
Sure.
at Casa
I did
de
wear a
Thinking.
headdress the other day, and I sent him a picture, and I was like, do you feel offended?
Yeah.
He was like, that's a dope headdress. I was like, I know, right? Yeah.
Well, we were
So,
asking
look
if
good on me.
cultural appropriation was a thing, and
that's
I'm
a good
like,
question, yeah.
everybody that like bitches about cultural appropriation does yoga. So like, I don't know what they're bitching about, really.
But yeah, I bitch about cultural
Do
appropriation
you
all the
bitch
time.
about cultural
Do you?
appropriation?
Yeah, dude, motherfuckers out here. No, I'm just
What
kidding.
did I do?
I'm kidding.
No. If you did,
If
Being
you are, let's
sarcastic.
hear
I'm
it.
being sarcastic.
okay, yeah. I just think it's like
Dude,
an art-
I wore a dashiki to a bar like a couple days
Hell
ago, dude.
yeah.
Well, so cultural appropriation does not exist, huh?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's an arbitrary line.
I think America's making a huge deal out of it. Like, you didn't watch the World Cup, but like a bunch of people were like wearing the Arab outfit, but in their country's flag. Like you see the Arab
Oh, that's
outfit, but
cool,
like the
yeah.
Argentinian flag on it.
Okay.
If that was America, people would be like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?"
I'm so fucking lily. I say that because everybody, like, because white people are guilty. They're like, oh, we're so evil, like, so it was kind of virtue signaling. Everybody in Peru, it's like, yeah, if they go to China, they're going to buy the most Chinese shit that they can think of and then wear it back home because at first, how are you to expect to really get a culture across. If you don't think, oh, that's cool, maybe I don't understand it, but at least like, how are you supposed? It's kind of like I don't like. I think those people are the same as like I don't like small talk. How the fuck are you supposed to get to know anybody? Like, am I supposed to say, what are your views on abortion the moment I meet you? Like,
Hot take.
what are your views on abortion? No, I'm just kidding.
So no, it makes me think of though, like the story that you told about when you were a kid and the Star of David.
Oh yeah. When there's not a lot of Jewish people in Peru. It's a Catholic country, and so when I moved here, I lived in South Florida, and we would go to the swap shop, which is like kind of like a flea market, right? But a huge one, and they sell like the little lighters that's like a gun, but that comes in a little like light. I always thought of cool shit. I'm in my
kids
teens,
love. Yeah.
and I saw this cool ring, and it was like a star, and I thought it was cool, and I bought it. And they're like, oh. And I remember it was gold with like a black inlay, and then like the little gold, like Jewish Star of David. And I thought it was cool. And then people were like, "Oh, are you Jewish?" I'm like,
that's so fucking
why can't
sad,
I wear
dude.
it?
Yeah. See, like people have like shaped this world into whatever their view is, and then everyone that comes in this world that wants to do something like wear a ring that has a star in it.
Exactly.
They're like, no, you can't do that. You have to abide by our views of the world.
Exactly. 100%. I think it's bullshit. Like it's like
Dude, I feel like people, like babies should, or like kids should decide if they want to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
If they want to wear.
If you want to wear a fucking Star of David around your neck, do it,
dude. If you want to dress like like an Incan fucking like from Peru, I'd be like, fucking that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you. I'm not gonna get offended. How dare you? Like that's whenever you see and I have this hypothesis that it's not actually the people from these fucking countries that get offended. It's the children of the people that came from those countries. That can't even speak or fucking write the goddamn language. And then they're bitching. I'm like, once you can fucking, if you can speak and write fucking Spanish, then tell me some shit about LatinX because you don't understand the fucking language. You're confused, baby.
Yeah, I honestly like as someone who's, let's say, a foreigner here, if someone that's white American that wants to know more and like dress like my culture, I'm like, fuck, dude, you'll be my better friend.
Absolutely. Where does fusion food come from if not from like culturally appropriating something? Like where do Japanese businessmen get their fucking suits? They're not fucking dressed like samurai, right? Like, we're engagement rings, right? Like fucking prevalent so many. They came from goddamn Austria, like so. It's like at some point, it's really. This is my contention, right? And I think we have a lot of like disagreements in people today, because I think 20 years ago we could all agree on reality because we're all watching the same shit. Now we have this hyper customized experience, right? So it makes you think, everybody, and then everybody tries to draw their lines. And it's like, well, you can't draw lines if it's not common anymore, right? Like you can't draw these arbitrary lines. Oh, this is where the line is. And I'm right. It's like, well, these other people don't agree with you. So maybe let's talk about it a little bit more and then draw the lines, right? Because look at that fucking headdress. Tell me how fucking cool is that?
Oh yeah,
It's really dope.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
And
I like the anonymous mask too.
Oh yeah,
they've actually been doing a lot with Iran. They're helping out a lot with the protests.
Who?
The Iranian
Anonymous?
protests. Yeah, anonymous.
Oh no shit. Huh? Yeah, we are anonymous. We are Legion. Expect this, all right?
Yeah, I love it, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's been my experience with most people from other countries that they're much more kind about sharing their culture than people in America. Americans, they get it's like they want to hold it all closely, and they're like, oh, if I give it to you, then it's not mine anymore. And it's like I'm giving away something of myself that.
But you can't blame it because Americans don't really have any culture.
It's true. It's true. We've talked about that too. But isn't American culture an amalgam of all of these different cultures? Like,
I would disagree. I would disagree. I'd argue that Americans do have a culture, but it's slowly going away. Like North Carolina, you go to those towns, little towns in North Carolina. I mean, literally, like I sometimes think that people are self-interested. They're like, oh, I went to Colombia, or I went to Peru and I had an ayahuasca ceremony or whatever, or I went to this other place, and it's like there are so many. America's a huge country.
It's huge.
There are so many cool places with culture. you know, that you can get. It's like, you know, moonshine. If you go to a moonshine place in the middle of fucking hillbilly country, people would love that if it was in another fucking country, right?
That's true.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, this place makes a fudge, you know, and all this other stuff. And I think the national parks, even I've lived all over the U.S., mostly middle and western U.S., and you know, the racism in Boston, the Irish Americans that don't give a fuck. That's American culture, right?
Yeah.
Like the New Yorkers that speak so quickly and they're so like savvy and they're like really funny, you know, like you know, hip hop. Like just have so much that I feel that it almost gets washed away because we pump out nothing but culture, and it's our culture's entertainment.
Like I was just joking about saying Americans don't have culture, obviously, but the thing is, you guys export your culture all over the world all the time, so it's so much easier than to learn about another country where you have to actually get up and move there, or get up and live there, or meet people from there, or watch YouTube videos. Like purposely go out and watch a YouTube video about Guyana. What do you know about Guyana? I don't know shit about Guyana, but everyone in Guyana knows everything there is about America.
Is Guyana different from Ghana?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Yeah, that tells you how much I know about Guyana.
Yeah, Guyana is in South America, like the Guyanese, like West Indies, Central America.
Yeah, I mean they're all Mexican to us in South America. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I think Ghana's in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, expand on that though. You were just saying, like, I think that's so incredibly
like everyone in Ghana. Let's make it simple for you guys. In Ghana knows
Or
everything
America.
there is about America, but like, you know, like, what's the capital of Ghana?
Do you think that's
fuck
because
knows?
Americans, like, we don't make that extra effort to try to learn about other countries, or do you think it's just
No, definitely
because-
not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you learn it in your schools.
Sure.
What's more important is entertainment and movies. That's the most important thing in America is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything that's I know about America is literally from movies and series and stuff like that.
Word,
I know what New York looks like and how New York people act because of movies.
Yeah.
I've been to New York, but like maybe one day or something, and I didn't get to experience that, but I know the stereotype.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I would argue that in America, right, having immigrated to this country, and maybe you can relate or tell me if it's different. It's like in America, you actually, for better or for worse, get to be who you want to be. In Peru, if you're being raised in Peru, there's only 3 fucking career paths: doctor, lawyer, engineer. You don't do that, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, like
Because that's your ticket out.
That's your ticket out.
That's your ticket out, because everyone is like, hey, if you become successful, that's how Iranians get out. That's how all the Indians here are all doctors and engineers because their parents were like, yo, if you want to get out of this fucking shithole, you better fucking study your ass, bitch.
Yeah, you can't be an artist and all of a sudden survive, have a car. You can't do shit in these other countries. And I'd even argue that why is even stand-up comedy? Why is stand-up comedy so fucking good here? I think it's so subtle, but I think the ability for us to say, let's say, fuck the president or whatever precedent it is.
You can't say that in Iran.
You can't.
No.
It kind of allows you to that freedom of thought, the freedom to then develop art like hip hop, comedy, like all these things. And I actually think that this whole kind of anti-free speech movement is un-American. And I moved here for the things that are American. Well, my mom moved me here for the things that are America, but you know.
Yeah, I agree. Like if I think your idea is bad, I think the better choice would be for me to come up with a better idea.
Exactly.
Not to try to shut your ass down.
100%. We talk about this all the time, don't we, Andy? That
Absolutely.
you beat bad ideas with better ideas. And if you can't beat them with better ideas, that probably means you're not that fucking good at coming up with ideas. Let somebody else come up with a better idea.
But yeah, I mean that's good. That's a good point. Like American culture is like weird. It's all over the place. So I think you guys spend a lot of time trying to figure out your own culture.
Yeah. Well, and we're so spread out. We're very spread out here, and we do have these pockets of different cultures. You know what I mean? It's like California and New York couldn't be more different, but then Colorado and California, and well, I guess Colorado is becoming a little more California.
You know, and I probably have to censor this, but maybe we need another 9/11.
Oh,
you
Jesus
know, like, 'cause everybody was real fucking American then. You know,
Oh,
like
we were
everybody's
really
like
banded
America. You know, like
Yeah, except we were getting the fucking hit, dude.
Say.
No, but it needs to
but
come from somewhere else now. You know, like everybody gets shit
Yeah,
on.
maybe
you know?
maybe Peruvian
there
terrorists.
you
How
go.
about that,
do you feel
huh?
about
Listen, there were Peruvian terrorists in Peru when I was born, yeah,
So
the
we
car
just
bomb.
import some of them?
They were pretty good at making car bombs. I gotta tell you, no, the Peruvian president the Peruvian president just tried to do a fucking coup just now, like 2 weeks ago, and he tried to dissolve
down Congress.
and entirely.
How what was his plan?
He was going to install a new Congress, but then the next day he was trying to like go to the Mexican embassy or whatever, and then the cops.
Did he have the military's back or no?
No.
So how the hell was he? You gotta have the
I
military's
don't
back,
know.
dude.
Listen, if
The military has to have your back if you want to do a coup.
absolutely,
For sure, yeah.
absolutely.
That's the only way to do it. You gotta
That's the only way to
get
do it.
soldiers, dude.
Well, but they took him away, and now Peru has their first lady president.
Yeah,
So
progressivism. You know.
Do you think dictatorships are bad?
Well, I think what you ideally, right, in hypothetically, right, in a vacuum, I think probably the best form of government is probably a benevolent king. But then you have the problem of succession. What happens after that king's died? Because benevolent king is gonna be able to make executive decision, right, and be able to really.
So now define benevolent then.
It would have to be something where the will of the people is the most important thing to them outside of personal
But what if
gain.
the will of the people isn't always for their own benefit?
Right, and that's why
people are stupid.
Well, that's where we need, and that's where he has executive decision, right? Like if on a small time frame, you're not going to be able to see it. But I mean, you see this all over Latin American countries, and Latin American countries don't fuck with leftism because this is what always happens. There's a lot of people that can't read and write, in the mountains, anywhere other than the cities, that are very easy to con by a populist person. Hey, the government's fucking every government's fucking you, right? And you should own this and you should own that, and I'm gonna bring you freedom and I'm gonna do that. They oust the government, and then this person just fucks everybody because now there's no,
Who's going to stop him?
exactly. So it's I think that any kind of socialism or communism doesn't work in a world where there's still borders, because it's just like it's not a closed system, it's an open system. So you're always like, we live in the age of the internet and planes. It's like kind of like putting a hole at the bottom of a full bathtub because you cannot keep it contained. It's gonna be ripe for corruption. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's like you're right, but there's like situations where I've seen in history, like Iran, there was a king who people didn't like at the time, where they thought they didn't like. Iran at the time was like progressive, very like Western and part of the world,
I've seen
really.
pictures. They looked amazing.
And then they thought they wanted a revolution. What they didn't expect was their country to go into the dark hole for the next 43 years after this revolution. So what they thought was a dictator.
It was
And that's the
He just
problem.
didn't want to be challenged, and I think that's with every dictator is like, hey, don't challenge me, but I'll give you everything you want.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
And-
his problem was, sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you, but
No,
his
go ahead.
problem was he also flaunted his wealth. So a lot of people thought that he was like the mullahs right now, the people who are controlling Iran now, they basically call themselves the benefit for the poor. Is like they're not displaying wealth.
Okay.
They're poor people, but they choose to run the country. But no, they're fucking billionaire. The supreme leader of Iran, I just Googled it. He's worth like $90 billion.
So they're just being more coy about it.
Yeah.
More. I mean, that's wise.
Yeah.
They learned the lesson.
They learn exactly.
Like-
They learned the lesson.
Well-
But like in that situation, like one dictator was overthrown for a socialist theocracy, and people ate shit basically.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the problem, right? Everybody, it's I always say in life there are no solutions, only trade-offs, right? And
I like that.
and it's kind of
God,
like
this guy, he's like a fucking philosopher.
what's really worse for the poor people? Instability in a country. Like nothing hurts poor people like instability like that, right? Because then it's like everybody's out for themselves and everybody just hoards shit. And it is a challenge, right? Because, and that's why main and benevolent king, it can't be a bloodline. It has to almost be where you have a ruler or a king or a monarch that it just changes. It is, and it almost would have to be, and that's the difficult part, right? The corruption always happens at the choice, right? If you install somebody, if you could find a mechanism to where, let's say, the king dies, and then the king that succeeds him is just not directly affiliated, but out of certain qualities of the people or whatever. I don't even know what those qualities would be, right? But
now you're just talking about democracy.
I was gonna say it's like
yeah, well,
then we all elect a new person that we think is gonna do a good job.
agreed, and that's why, and that's why I'm not against getting rid of the electoral college, right? Because I think a republic without a democratic component can be very much like a dictatorship or a monarchy, but the electoral college allows for, and once again, right, there's gerrymandering that really fucks up the electoral college. I think that's the underlying thing
Sure.
that gets fucked up. But theoretically, you can see it's like, well, this is not overall not good to the people. Yeah, I know you want, let's say, X, but this over 5 years kills half of you, let's say, and to where they're like, okay, I'm gonna have to go against the will of people. You elected me because you believe in the choices that I can make, and vote me out if you don't like them. But I do think that there should be an ability to overrule. Let's say right now, let's say we're all on our phones, right? How easy is it to really control people? And I think that's what we appoint representatives, because we're so fucking busy. I mean, we got bills to pay. How many people really can look at every issue from all sides and then really make a coherent decision? It's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
And an impossible job, I would argue. That's why I think we get caught in this kind of loop of right and wrong. You know, like if somebody's right, I'm wrong. If somebody's wrong, I'm right. And I think that sometimes we can just make the best decision, right? Like, and even the best decision might not be good enough for what we need, but it's the best you got, you know? So I don't know.
Well, and making no decision where we're both like, no, we're not going to do it this way because I said that you're wrong, and then that leaves no decision, and a bunch of people probably
Like that
get
don't look
hurt.
up thing, like that don't look up movie. Y'all ever see that?
That was dope.
Yeah. That's pretty dope.
I fell asleep doing
Yeah.
it twice.
Hell yeah. Well, I think we got enough for this episode of the Manly Girly Show.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
thank
I
you
have
for
to pee
being
just in
here.
time.
Amir,
Amir.
tell everybody where they can find you.
I don't
Shaking down
honestly
some-
just follow my Instagram
Instagram?
because I
What's
don't
your
know where I
Instagram?
am.
Okay, Instagram.
It's Amir comedy with a K.
Hell yeah. And look forward to seeing Amir in the next Cost of the Thinking.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
Ooh.
for having me.
Thanks, everybody.